I'm not the only adult that sits in their car wondering how they're making the most money they've ever made in their entire life, and it still doesn't seem to be enough.
We are going to be like paycheck to paycheck, and I've never been like that my entire life.
Listen, if you still want to come to America because you believe in the American dream, let me tell you something. That dream died like 30 plus years ago.
2026, Americans can barely keep up with the cost of living as it keeps increasing between grocery prices, rent, home prices, insurance going up by 3-4 times for a lot of people, and just the jobs being taken away and not paying as much as they should. So when you're not making as much money as it costs to survive, and the cost of surviving still keeps going up, eventually Americans start relying on credit cards, loans, and, on immoral ways to survive.
I'm not the only adult that sits in their car wondering how they're making the most money they've ever made in their entire life, and it still doesn't seem to be enough. My rent is $2,000 a month, and I live in a townhouse. My car note is $535 a month, and that's on the low end compared to what I see a lot of people pay. My car insurance is $370 between two vehicles. And every time I fucking turn around, that shit's going up, and they can't even tell you why, other than that the rates have increased. Fucking why? My HOA just decided to charge me $100 because I left my garbage can sitting out in front of my house for a couple of days because I needed to let it dry after dumping it with bleach because there were maggots in there. You rent from these companies and they penny pinch you on every thing that they can. We are being bullied into poverty by these corporations and billionaires. And we have somebody in office gaslighting us in our face, telling us, oh, no, you're not. I don't understand how the families that are living off $15 an hour, how are you doing it? How do you pay your rent? What do you do when your car breaks down? I don't know, dude. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, I'm blessed compared to a lot of people, and it's still hard.
I truly cannot be the only person in this world that feels like I'm just existing. Y'all, I work. My husband works. And it's like, where's the extra money to go enjoy life itself? At this point, I'm only living to work. There is no enjoyment except for to just work. I am ready for that point in my life where I can go to work, but then on my free time, I have all the money to go do all the things I want to do. But for now, it's just working and existing.
How are y'all affording stuff right now? I feel like we're not talking enough about this. Everything is so freaking expensive, and I don't know what the heck. I know I'm not the only one going through this. I mean, from groceries, clothes, everything is so expensive right now, and it's literally by the grace of God that me and my family are surviving. I can't imagine what it's like for somebody who doesn't make the type of money that I make, and I don't even make a lot of money, but this is really a struggle. How are we surviving?
I'm not paying federal taxes, and the reason for that is the system is completely broken and is no longer serving normal people. I just have been overwhelmed, honestly. There's so many comments at this point, specifically on TikTok, of people who are doing the same and have done the same for a long time. And I think it's amazing to see everyday people coming together and to feel like we really are going to win. We're going to win.
Listen, if you still want to come to America because you believe in the American dream, let me tell you something. That dream died like 30 plus years ago, and now we're living in a dream that involves paying $10 for a dozen of shitty eggs, paying $2,000 a month for an apartment in the ghetto that's about 700 square feet and it has no walls. And then if you want to go to university here, you're looking at around $100,000 for a 4-year education. That's on the low end. But in those 4 years, you might get shot because everyone seems to want to shoot each other for some ungodly reason. Then you're going to graduate thinking, oh, I graduated. I have a degree now. I'm going to get a good job. Your good job is going to pay you about $40,000 starting off, maybe. And then they're going to say you're going to work 40 hours a week. When in reality, you're going to be working about 50 plus hours a week because they're going to guilt trip you in by saying, we're a family, we're a team, we help each other. And they're not going to pay you overtime for that, because why would they? If they get your help for free, why would they pay you for that? Okay? Then there's no work-life balance. That company you're working for now doesn't want to give you vacation days until like maybe your second year working there. And those vacation days are maybe 4 days out of the whole entire year. That includes holidays. All right? Then if you're sick, too bad, you still have to come to work. Okay? Then if you want to buy groceries, your groceries are going to be your whole entire paycheck, because no one can afford to eat here anymore. I go to the grocery store for 4 things. It's like $50.
All right, I gotta ask y'all something real quick. And I'm in a parking lot, okay? I'm not TikToking and driving. My sunglasses are, I can't even see out of this. Anyway, I got a question. I am in my early 30s, okay? My husband and I, we make good money. We're doing just fine. I've talked about how we live in a 1994 double wide and don't have a huge mortgage that we can't handle, all of that. My question is, there are so many women families around my age, especially like in my town. I'm sure it happens other places as well, but it's like the husband will have a decent job, right? I'm sure making fine money. The mom will either like stay at home or, have a decent job, maybe like a teacher or, a nurse, like a good job. But they're both driving brand new vehicles. I'm not talking about the base model like I got, okay? They're in like the souped up versions of the vehicles, and they have like the brand new, custom built homes with the granite and the marble and the, I don't know, whatever the nice flooring is, okay? They've got that. They've got 1 or 2 kids. They're just gallivanting all over the place, everywhere. And I'm trying to figure out, are you just living in debt? Or are you, I don't know, somehow managing paycheck to paycheck? Or are your parents helping you out? Like, if you're one of those people that I'm talking about, I mean, absolute no disrespect. I'm just trying to figure out how you can live that way. And I mean this in the nicest way possible. I'm almost a little jealous. I just, as a normal person who does not like to spend a lot of money, I'm genuinely like asking how y'all are making this work.
Americans, 2026 is only going to get way harder. We're all thinking that 2026 is going to become better. I mean, even we heard news about banning private corporations from buying up houses, so home prices will supposedly go down. And all I can say is that's not enough. That's not enough. And all the old people are going to say it sounds selfish, but think about what our generation has been through compared to as the little stuff we had given to us compared to what other generations had given to them. We have to work 10 times harder to have a quarter of what our grandparents had. And we're supposed to be happy with just the fact that home prices might go down. Maybe. They might. Maybe. That's not enough. What about grocery prices? What about insurance costs? What about healthcare costs? What about car costs? Car insurance? What about gas? What about all that other stuff? What about clothes? What about everything else you need to survive? Medicine? What about everything besides the house? Because the house might go down, but if everything else keeps going up, it doesn't matter. People still won't be able to afford to buy the house because they'll be paying $2,000 a month on insurance with a $10,000 deductible. $200 car insurance. Come on. I have a 2007 Honda Civic, so don't sit here and get in my comment section, well, you just want to buy a nice car. I have a 2007 Honda Civic. Buddy, since you know everything, people like to accuse you of wanting a whole bunch of nice stuff. Like I said, 2007, a 19-year-old car. Don't sit here and try to tell me, oh, you just want all the nice stuff. Americans are struggling. People are making excuses to make it seem like it's our fault. And as soon as we prove them wrong, that's when a disconnection happens. Instead of trying to listen to each other, come to a conclusion, and fix the issues to make all parties happy.
I don't know if this is inflation or tariffs or a combination of the two, but about 3 or 4 months ago, I got quoted about, let's just call it $500 for a set of front tires for my car. At the time, I didn't need the tires. Like, I had a little bit of tread left. I'm like, let me just run out what I've got and then I'll replace the tires. So knowing that it was going to be about $500 to replace them. How about today? I go and I'm like, okay, it's time to get the tires. I show up. I'm expecting, $500, maybe a little bit more based on everything that's going on. How about the new quote? Today's price was $980 for 2 tires. And no, these aren't the cheapest tires on the planet, even in not this economic whatever is going on. But I will say that the last time that I bought these tires, I got both tires for $300. Folks, this is not sustainable. Like, the price of stuff in America, how long does this go on before the bubble just pops? Like, I'm okay financially, and this is like straining me. What are people doing that are struggling already, and they need to put tires on their car, something just that normal, and it's double or triple the price? I mean, never mind that the cost of living when it comes to like rent and mortgages and groceries is high. But man, my mind is blown. My mind is blown. I've seen a lot of things that have surprised me when it comes to the cost of stuff. But this tire situation, wow.
I've noticed people don't like to talk about money nowadays, or even back in the day, it's a very taboo topic to talk about. But I think we need to start normalizing talking about it, and especially now with everything being so expensive. I'm going to break down the bills that I have. I'm making more money than I've ever made in my adult life right now. And this is the first time that I've had to budget. And you can say you're spoiled, whatever. I've just done well, and my husband does well. We don't live in a grandiose house. We live in a nice house. Yes. We live in a very nice city. Yes. But let's break down some of the bills. And let's just be completely transparent. So, first bill is the mortgage. My mortgage is almost $3,300 a month. The second bill, my biggest bill, is my daughter's school. That's almost $24,000 a year. The third biggest bill would be my utility bill. Apparently, we had a toilet running, and so last month, our water bill, I think I made a video about it, was $514. So I had to pay that. They wouldn't do anything about it. They said the water had to go somewhere. We had somebody come out and check for any type of leak. There was no leak. We were forced to pay that on top of the regular water bill, which is usually $90 a month. Then you have your electricity bill, and that's usually around $130 a month. Then you have car payments. My husband's car is paid off, and my car now, my new one that I got, is about $300 a month, which is not a lot, I know. But then you have insurance. Our insurance is about $300 every single month. And what else? Extracurricular activities for my daughter, a couple $100s a month. Our grocery bill, we don't do like large hauls. We go like every couple days and get stuff, and I never had to budget it. We would just always go and buy it. And I broke it down this month, and we spend about $800 a month on groceries because we don't eat out and we make everything at home. And then we obviously have my housekeeper every week. That's $150 a month. So that's what, $600 a month. And then my dog gets groomed every 6 weeks. That's another $100. And that's not even including any of the extra things like shopping, whatever. And I don't even buy clothes full price. I thrift most things. And I don't get my nails done. I don't get my hair done. I don't do spray tan. I don't do lashes. Yes, I do Botox. That's it. I don't buy makeup. All my makeup is sent to me for free. Yes. And I don't know how families are dealing with the cost of living. It is scary. And like I said, my husband and I do well. I'm not going to go into exactly how much we make because I think that's a little bit too much. But those are our bills. And this is the first month that, we are going to be like paycheck to paycheck. And I've never been like that my entire life. And I'm worried.
So it doesn't matter what aspect we're talking about. There's plenty of things that is making life in America way harder for your average American, or even people, people, foreigners who are staying here. It doesn't matter who it is, where you're from, what your background is. The prices do affect all of us. Now, with some people, might have certain things that might help them. At the end of the day, we are all going through the same thing. We all understand the cost. We all understand how hard it is, the job market, the crashes, all that stuff that's going on. We all understand. Some people try to fake it and try to make up excuses and say you just need to work harder and stop spending money and all this stuff that you hear people say, but they haven't really had to go through what the average American is going through. Not being able to find a job, at least a job in their niche, something that pays well, that fits their skill set, what they went to school for, and between everything, all the job markets, all the jobs getting lost, life is just becoming way harder. But make sure y'all make sure y'all comment, and make sure y'all subscribe, and let me know in the comment section what aspect of 2026 do you think is going to get the better, the most improved. I know they were talking about banning corporations from buying up homes, private equity. So hopefully home prices do go down, but we'll see over this year what could happen. But once again, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think is going to happen, and make sure you subscribe. And once again, no matter what happens, as long as you're alive, life goes on.